The guitar's been around forever, so is cooking. The guitar is another example of you only get out of it what you put in it. It's really hard to fake, okay? Hard to fake cooking too. I mean, you can talk all about it, but when it comes down to it, it's when I hand you the rib, and then when I hand you the pork bite. I think people play music for the creative outlet, but I also think people play music to please people. I cook for the creative outlook, but I also cook to please people. If you don't have that desire to please somebody and make them happy when they eat your food, I don't know that you really cook that well.
I got a hunger, I gotta feed my soul.
I grew up in a music store, and my father had opened the first electric guitar store in the world, 1953. It went broke 3 times, but by the time I was 7, I was working in the store. By 9, I was running the cash register. My father was an amazingly concise person. He was very creative, and his wisdom helped me in a lot of things, and his attention to detail. My mom's flamboyant. My grandmother was a famous jazz pianist. My grandfather had the largest Hawaiian music publishing company. My great-grandfather wrote When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. My brother was one of the top studio singers. My dad was Disney's staff guitarist, and we would play and sing. My mom was a singer, and I thought every kid did that. And it's so weird, because as people go to our house, they go, like, is this what you guys do all the time? Oh yeah, it's what we do. But I think it gives you confidence. I think it gives you an appreciation of a craft. Cooking is really interesting because my mom was a really good cook. And there's 2 classes that benefited me in high school, and that was typing and home ec. But it ended up helping me greatly. And I started by cooking breakfast for all my friends. And I might cook 40 omelets one morning or so. I just started this journey in learning, and I'd pick a discipline or cuisine that I really liked, and I'd spend the time investigating it and exploring it. And I went through Pacific Rim, Italian, French. I'm in no way a chef, but realized that I had some creative aptitude there.
Firestone has been here since August of 1995. He's helped us in many ways. Initially, it was mainly food. Started with the salad. Most recently, he's added a Firebird sandwich and a jalapeno burger. On the functional side, Old Hickory pits, he introduced to us 8-10 years ago, which now we incorporated in the cooking on our tri-tip, which is obviously our most important item. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a better sandwich around. He keeps up with the trends, obviously, and puts his own spin on it, which I think is great. So this gives him like a little playground when he comes to town. It's very valuable because I first and foremost trust him. I know he's not going to steer me the wrong way. He has my back. He's been a longtime family friend.
I made my living building my dad's business up. When I took it over, it had 14 employees. Brian, my son, is CEO, and he's done a tremendous job. I think we have about 650 now. But no matter what, it was always my dad's. At any given time, I could have tried to make it about me, but my job was building that brand and building my dad's brand. And in that case, my dad's no longer here, but I'm with him every day. That's cool, but barbecue had really nothing to do with my dad. So I started barbecue because I'd always grilled, but I'd never really smoked. And I bought my son a smoker for Christmas. And I bought one for myself too. And I bought it for myself so I could learn how to use it to show him, otherwise I wasn't sure it'd get used. I got this idea that I could actually teach men how to cook. And so I started doing videos. And my wife says, "What are you doing? You already have a career. Why are you filming these cooking things?" I think it's really fun. And I know some people are watching it and learning it. And if they become better cooks, that's cool to me. So I would buy different smokers. And the crew at Ernie Ball would come with new smokers and assemble them in my backyard. I think I hit at the high of 20 smokers in the backyard, and my wife was okay with it. I'd play around with all the different kinds of ways you can cook with fire, because now I'm hooked. I really was fascinated by this concept of mixing air and smoke and seasonings and taking a poor cut of meat and making it delicious. The people assembling the smokers, hey, we're gonna start a barbecue team. I said, that's really like the dumbest idea I could think of. I mean, it's subjective and I don't know why you'd want to do this, but I'll loan you the cookers and, well, can we call ourselves Big Poppa Smokers? I said, sure. So I started coaching them. One by one, they dropped off, and all of a sudden, I still want to do this. I remember the night before our first grand championship, which was our 13th contest, my son's with my buddies playing golf on a Saturday. He goes, something's wrong with my dad. Because instead of being here with us, he's sleeping in a produce truck, using a porta potty, staying up all night cooking meat. And that contest was kind of funny because that was the first win. And getting that first win is really good. It really feels good. So I was hooked. Southern California is not a barbecue rich area. I mean, in competition, barbecue California was always been considered kind of weak. And that's changed over the last few years. And I think I might have had just a little bit to do with that because I created flavors out here. I love the process. I love that KCBS, the Kansas City Barbecue Society, has an arena for me to do this in. I'm happy that it gets national attention. I'm happy that I can work for companies like Tyson. I mean, it's pretty cool. Never thought I'd be doing that. Never thought I'd be sitting here telling somebody why they should cook this certain meat or how to cook it. If you told me 13 years ago, I would have laughed, yeah, right. You know, I would have had to go drug tested. So, but here I am, and here's what I like to do.
In the ways that I've looked up to my dad and tried to model myself after him, it's kind of endless. The nature of persevering and being tenacious and being fearless, I think having a big heart is like, you know, that's at the top of the list right there. Always doing the right thing, having integrity. I think having a role model that I can look up to do that, but also, you know, on the success side of things and working with the greatest artists in the world and creating, you know, the biggest music promotion of its kind, and I can go on and on about his career. It's absolutely remarkable. I mean, I've watched him apply his passions and his talents and you know, settling or sailing off in the sunset, that's not in Sterling Ball's DNA.
I think you have to make sure you still love the process. If you take it for granted, that's usually when people stop excelling, stop winning. You know, I don't know, I can't do this. I don't know how long I can do this. I think retirement's a race to irrelevance, so I desperately don't want to be irrelevant. I'd like to still find other opportunities to use whatever toolkit I got. You will be successful if you deliver the anticipated experience. We all deliver an experience, whether I'm cooking food for people or playing guitar for them. Now, if you really want to nail it, you exceed the anticipated experience.